view of Veruna from the top. Looks pretty good up here. It's pretty comfy actually, not too bad. Alright, going down. Last week on Adventure Drift, we visited the Seattle Boat Show, finally became official owners of Veruna, and then we gave you a sneak peek at our diesel engine class that we've been taking.
This week on Adventure Drift. Ha!
So in our first couple weeks of owning Veruna, we started off with some simple projects. We gave her a good wash down. We got our dinghy and gave her a name. And then we measured out and marked our anchor chain. After that, we started on the real boat projects. Ty learned how to rebed a stanchion.
Which was more trouble than we thought it would be.
Yes, and then I went up to the mast.
That was really cool.
Yeah, so stay tuned, we get to see all that.
So, some of the other projects we have coming up are going to be replacing our lifelines on board. Also, some of the running rigging we want to replace. The big one is our wind vane, our installation and then testing of that. And then also the other big one is figuring out how we're going to do our offshore weather and what system we want to use for that.
Yep. So the first thing we did after the initial excitement of being on board our own boat wore off was to give her a really good wash down and get her looking really nice. After our great wind vane find on Craigslist that we showed you in our last video, we had been searching online for other used items that we could acquire on the cheap. At the top of our list for used items was a dinghy. We found a 8-foot Walker Bay dinghy on Craigslist for half the regular price, $400 instead of $800. It was in great condition and happened to be right near my parents' house. They purchased it for us and brought it down to deliver it. We had made the decision that we wanted to get a hard-sided dinghy instead of an inflatable because it would be much more durable in the harsh tropical sun and stand up much better to rocky beaches or barnacle-covered piers. Hard-sided dinghies are also much easier to row, and we had decided to keep it simple and skip the outboard. They're very expensive. You have the hassle of having another fuel on board. They're also notorious for breaking down and a big target for thieves. To celebrate the arrival of our dinghy, we decided to have a little naming ceremony on board. We named her Makara. Our boat's name is Varuna, which means Hindu god of sky, water, and the celestial ocean. And Makara is the half-terrestrial, half-aquatic creature that Veruna rides.
All right, christening.
Makara!
Okay.
Everything.
Our first and easiest boat project was measuring and marking all of the anchor chain. We pulled it out onto the deck to inspect it, make sure it was all in good condition, not in a giant rust ball, and wash it down. Once it was all out on the dock, we measured it and made some markings at specific lengths so we would know how much chain we were letting out while anchoring. The amount of anchor chain that you let out when anchoring is very important, and it is measured in relation to the depth of the water in a ratio that is called scope. The greater the scope, the more holding power. Generally, a 7-to-1 scope is a pretty standard ratio, which means if you were anchored in 10 feet of water, you would let out 70 feet of chain. Alright, so down here, got red at 25. The yellow is the markers to let us know it's the 25, not the 125.
Okay.
And then back there, yellow is 50.
There's a couple of blue ones on this end, Mark. And
blue ones on the end. Let us know it's 50, not 150. And then blue is 75.
75 feet.
With the yellow on the ends.
Okay.
And orange is 100.
Okay, so we're 100. Go.
There we go. That's 125.
125. Okay.
Yep.
Obviously we have no scissors, that's why we have a hacksaw here and some pliers to cut things up. Okay.
Veruna came equipped with 250 feet of chain attached to a 33-pound Bruce anchor up at the bow. The chain is 3/8 inch high test, which means it is stronger and lighter than regular chain. At the stern of the boat, we also have a Danforth anchor, which is attached to a chain leader, and then some nylon rope. We did an initial inventory of all the supplies on board, and there were lots of cleaning products, but not a single tool on board. Since the only tools that we currently owned were some screwdrivers and a drill, we became regulars over at Home Depot, purchasing lots of different tools and products that we would need on board. Okay, where are we now?
Home Depot. That's our second home.
It is our second home.
I think it's our first home, actually.
We visit twice a day, usually.
Maybe
more.
It's like my third or fourth time today.
Ty's a regular here. He needs a rewards card.
Yeah, I should get a rewards card. Pretty good.
Do they have such a thing?
They keep trying to sell like a credit card. I don't think they have a reward. So the other day we got the standard Depot, I think.
I don't remember.
So we just got one of them.
Yeah, we did. It was a mix, wasn't it? Or did we not have a mix?
Maybe it was, because these are... No, we didn't get a mix. We just got one.
Okay.
I think we got like this one. Right?
So our first real boat project after we did the anchor chain was figuring out how to rebed a leaky stanchion on the deck.
So we just wanted to start with one stanchion. Supposedly easy. But like anything that's supposedly easy on a boat, it's usually not that way.
No.
So one of the previous owners of Veruna made sure the stanchions were stuck down really well. They used 3M 5200 adhesive, which is the stickiest of stickiest adhesives.
Yeah, it's known as the devil's glue, and you cannot remove it, no matter what you do.
Or you break something doing it. And,
exactly.
And we did.
We did. So we tried pushing and pulling on the stanchion. We tried to use some line and get underneath it. We had an anti-bond, anti-adhesive that we tried to get under, and pretty much nothing worked. Eventually Ty got a putty knife under there and was able to wedge it off, but along with the stanchion came the gel coat.
And a little bit of fiberglass.
And some fiberglass. We had to have the bottom of the stanchion cleaned off. We had heard of a guy down the road that did stainless steel work and took it in.
This is our old guy, our stainless steel fabricator.
Yep.
And we're going to do stuff with our wind vane, hopefully.
Yeah. Making friends with them, getting to know them. As it turns out, this guy has been around forever and is very well known in Portland and is actually friends with our diesel engine instructor. He did a great job, and we plan to use him to make some mounts for our wind vane. Epoxy to fill in the fiberglass hole on the deck. was to sand it down to get it nice and level with the deck. We also had to clean off all the screws and hardware, which were filled with epoxy and the old 5200 sealant. Cleaning it.
There's a lot of debris up here, so I'll probably have to
clean it off so we can seal it back down without anything else in there. When it finally came time to rebed the stanchion and put it back down, we used butyl tape. Butyl tape is a tacky putty tape that does not harden. It is really good at waterproofing and sealing and lasts a very long time. We also used a lower grade marine sealant to reseal the stanchion back down, but hopefully it's something that's not as tough and that we will be able to get back up again. We tightened up the screws with the butyl tape in there. The way the butyl tape waterproofs is very flexible and kind of seeps down into all the different crevices. Actually, I have to come back several days later and keep retightening so it has time to reach all the pores and be completely waterproof. Starboard out. Ready? Ready.
Forward starboard.
Forward starboard. Ready.
Okay, good for now.
Cool. So the most exciting thing that happened this past couple weeks is I got to go up the top of the mast.
So I figured if she's going to go up the mast, we better make sure she's safe or I'll get in trouble. So we ended up getting a cheap bosun chair, $90, but $200 brand new from our local consignment shop. So that was a steal. And then we also got a separate harness for $20, so we could run a safety line as well, just to be extra secure.
Yep, the bosun chair is really nice, has a nice padded seat, pockets on both sides, and a harness built into it. So, really good. For those of you who don't know, a bosun chair is a seat with a harness on it, suspended from ropes, and it allows you to work comfortably and securely with your hands free and some very difficult to access points.
Here is Veruna. It is, I think, Saturday the 20th, 19th, 20th, something like that. And Hillary is up the mast here. Hillary's up, first time up in the bosun chair with a safety harness on. Taking a look at the running backstays and get some pictures. She's waving. She's taking pictures of our running backstays. Gonna send that up to the rigger. That's gonna help us out a bit.
So I've just been up here inspecting our running backstays. We are looking at the fittings up there and the conditions. The survey said that there was some chafing. Not exactly a re-expert. I don't really see any chafing, but the wire is definitely kind of rusty. So I've been up looking at that, taking pictures so that we can send that to the rigger and get it looked at. Just tie down here. He hauled me up, and now he's letting me back down the mast.
Have a look around there, it all looks good.
About halfway up right now. Little view of Veruna from the top. Looks pretty good up here. I'm all buckled into my safety harness and bosun's chair here. It's pretty comfy actually, not too bad. Alright, going down.
As always, guys, a really big thank you to all our patrons, especially our newest ones.
Yeah, our newest patrons, David, Roy, and Clinton. Thank you guys.
If you enjoy our videos and you'd like to help us continue making more, check us out on Patreon.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Next time on Adventure Adrift.
I go back up the mast.
Once she finally gets her butt down, I recruit her help to replace the corroded lifelines.
Yep, and then I learn how to do some whipping and splicing of line.
So thanks for watching.
And see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you to all of our patrons. You too can join us as we sail with a purpose. Click the Patreon logo to learn more. If you enjoyed our video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for our latest updates, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Goes up the mast. That's her mast climb. Even though she's lazy and doesn't climb, she makes me hoist her up. That's how she would do it if she